Happy morning, students. Last class we discussed electric potential due to a dipole. What is electric potential? An electric potential due to dipole, an equipotential surface, and properties of equipotential surface. In this class we will discuss about electrostatic potential energy of collection of point charges. That is, previously we discussed electrostatic potential energy only due to a point charge. What happens when a collection of charges are accumulated? That is what we are going to discuss here. So first we will calculate what is the potential energy due to a single charge. The electric potential at a point. So consider a point charge. Consider a point charge Q here. Okay. Then you let us consider another charge which is located at the distance of r. The another charge is q1. Then what is the potential energy on q because of q1? That is given as v is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught r. If the charge q2 is brought from infinity to point r from q1, let me bring another charge q2 from infinity distance, then there must be some work is done in order to bring the q2 charge against the electric field. Then the work done formula is given as w is equal to q2 into v. Then the amount of work done will be stored as a electrostatic potential energy, that is u, which is nothing but q2v. I know the value of v. What is the potential due to a point charge? That is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 by r. Substitute the value of v in this equation, then you will get 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r1. This is due to a single charge, point charge. Or if there are n number of charges brought from infinity to that point, then each charge contributes some potential energy at a point charge. So that we need to calculate. So when the next topic, electrostatic potential energy of a dipole in an uniform electric field. What happens when a charge is placed, a dipole is placed in a uniform electric field? How much potential energy will be stored? In a previous class we have discussed the torque experienced by the dipole in an uniform electric field. There, when a dipole is placed in a uniform electric field, they experience a torque, that is they turn, or the turning force will be acting on a charge. Here what will be the potential energy? When the dipole is rotated in a uniform electric field, there must be a work is done. That work will be stored as a potential energy, correct? That potential energy we are going to calculate. As usual, the formula for work is force into distance, but here in this case the distance will be in angular displacement, that is theta. Theta is denoted, d theta is denoted as angular displacement. In angular displacement into the turning force, here the force is turning force, the turning force is given as tau. Okay, look at the diagram. In this diagram, let us consider a dipole A. Consider a dipole A and B, which is placed at the distance of 2a in an uniform electric field. Okay, then the perpendicular distance, we know the perpendicular distance 2a sin theta, that I told you how to calculate in a previous class, and this is the adjacent side. Then it's a horizontal distance, in other way you can also say. Then in this the electric field will be acting in this direction, uniform electric field will be acting in this direction. Then each charge will experience certain force, correct? That is what in a previous class I told you. This charge will experience a force of q into E. Here it will become minus q into E. So that is the force experienced by a single charges. Then in a previous case the net force will become 0, but here they experience certain torque, correct? It starts rotating, so there is a work is done. What is the work that we will calculate? The work is given as W is equal to tau into d theta, where tau is called a external force acting on a torque or a torque on a dipole. Then this limit is varies from theta prime to theta. Then the torque formula will be P into E. What is P? It's a dipole moment. What is E? Electric field. So when you do the cross product of dipole moment and electric field, you will get a torque. Then substitute this value instead of this tau, then you will get, here it is a cross product, correct? So cross product can also be written P E sin theta. In 11th standard we studied that properties of sine, cross product and dot product. Okay, the cross product is nothing but P E sin theta. Then W is equal to integration over theta prime to theta, where theta prime is nothing but the new theta. When the dipole is rotated, there will be a new angle, correct? So the angle varies between theta to new theta prime. Okay, then that is what they give this as a limit, theta prime to theta. That is, the integration is valid, that work is valid between this angle only. Then P sin theta into d theta. Then when I do the integration of sin theta, I will get a cos theta. Okay, integration of sin theta is equal to cos theta. Then there is a formula applying the limit, upper limit minus lower limit. So cos theta theta prime, here it is a minus cos theta. Integration of sin theta is equal to minus cos theta. Then applying the limit, you will get upper limit minus lower limit. Upper limit is theta and lower limit is theta prime. So according to the formula, minus cos theta minus, okay, then this minus comes from the formula, because applying the limit, upper limit minus lower limit, correct? This minus comes from the formula, and minus cos theta prime. Then minus into minus will become plus, so you will get minus cos theta plus cos theta prime. This will be interchanged, that is cos theta prime minus cos theta. That is what they wrote here. So that is the integration of sin theta and d theta. If the initial angle is, let's say the dipole is placed exactly perpendicular to the uniform electric field, then the theta becomes 90 degree. Then cos 90 degree is equal to 0. Then the potential energy when a dipole is placed perpendicular to the uniform electric field will be 0. Okay, then potential energy will be minus Pe cos theta. That cos theta can be written in a dot product. Okay, we started with the cross product and we ended with dot product. Okay, then here cross product of the two vector will be a vector, but the dot product of the two vector will be a scalar. Okay, so the potential energy will be a scalar quantity in this case. Okay, do you understand what is this potential energy stored in a uniform dipole, in a dipole placed in a uniform electric field? So we consider a uniform electric field in which we placed a dipole and its turning effect. There will be a turning effect. Due to the turning effect, there is a work is done. That work formula is given as integration over tau t theta, where tau is the torque, that is the turning force due to a dipole. Then the torque formula will be given this. Then integrating that, we will get this answer. Then next, the next new topic is Gauss law and its application. It's very important one, Gauss law and its application. First, before going to the Gauss law, we should understand some important things so that we can easily understand the Gauss law. Gauss law is a law which relates with a number of electric lines passing per unit area. Okay, then that is called electric flux. So first concept is electric flux. What is electric flux? Electric flux is nothing but the number of electric lines crossing a given area. That's very important. That is number of electric lines crossing in a given area. Look at this diagram, A and B. A and B are the same area or unit area. They have a same dimension. Now see that number of lines passing through A and number of lines passing through B. If you count that in B, 1, 2, 3, 4 lines only passing through it. Then A, if you count exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 lines are crossing. So here more electric lines are crossing at A and less electric lines are crossing at B. That means here more electric flux will be there at A and less electric flux will be there at B. So that is called electric flux. Now you understand what is electric flux? Number of lines passing through a given area. Then the next important thing is the area should be considered normal to the electric field lines. Normal in the sense perpendicular. Okay, you have to consider a area which is perpendicular to the uniform electric field. If you consider parallel to the uniform electric field, the flux will be zero. No lines passing through it. It will be pass over this. Okay, then it will be denoted by electric flux will be denoted by the word Greek letter phi. This symbol is called as phi. Okay, then phi E is nothing but electric field. In 11th standard we studied phi B, that is called magnetic flux. Here it is electric flux. Phi can be easily written by putting O and simply put a line at the center. This is called phi, that is flux. Then the SI unit for this electric flux is Newton meter square Coulomb power minus 1, and it is a scalar quantity. This is what electric flux. The 2-mark question, it will be asked in 2-mark question. Define electric flux. The electric flux is defined as the number of electric field line crossing a given area kept normal to the electric field line is called as electric flux. It is denoted by the Greek word phi E and its unit is Newton meter square Coulomb power minus 1 and it's a scalar quantity. Then what is the electric flux due to uniform electric field and non-uniform electric field? Both we can study. Electric flux for uniform electric field will be denoted phi into electric field into area. That means why we consider area? If I increase the area, surely the number of electric lines passing through at A will be more or increases than the previous case. So the flux depends on the area and electric field. So phi is nothing but EA. A is kept parallel to the uniform electric field, then no electric lines passes through area A. Okay, that is what I told you previously. The area must be considered normal to the electric field. If you kept parallel to the uniform electric field, then there won't be any electric field. It will be zero. So the phi E will be 0 when the area is considered parallel to the uniform electric field. It will be asked in 1 mark. Simply they will say area A is considered parallel to the uniform electric field of magnitude some value phi Newton meter square Coulomb power minus 1. Then what is the flux through it? Then the flux through the area will become 0 because the area is placed parallel to the uniform electric field. Then if the area is inclined at an angle theta, so far I told you the area is considered normal or parallel. What happens if they lies? This is normal, this is parallel. What happens? The area is considered at an angle theta. So the electric flux will become E cos theta into A, or otherwise we can say that E A cos theta. This is the formula for electric flux on an inclined surface. So when cos theta will become 1, then the flux will be maximum. When the cos theta will become 1, when the theta is equal to 0. That means theta is nothing but the angle between the normal line to the electric field. Okay, then so this is what electric flux and electric flux for uniform electric field.